A very good evening, viewers. You're watching Republic TV with me, Deepak Suresh Kumar. Lots lined up from the north to the south, from east to west. We have stories lined up for you across the Republic. But first, let's take a look at the headlines. Congress's philosopher and Rahul's aide, Sam Pitroda, goes on a racist rant, calls South Indians Africans, East Indians Chinese, West as Arabs and North as whites. PM Modi calls out hate speech of Pitroda, says this is the biggest abuse by the Congress. Three Pakistan terrorists in the net over Poonch attack. One of them is an ex-commando of the Pakistan Army. "78 Air India Express flights cancelled after crew members go on a mass sick leave. Centre steps in, demands report. Air India apologizes." Mega twist in Karnataka's lease tapes case. JDS MLA alleges Chennai and Malaysia link to pen drive leak. First up, viewers, Sam Pitroda, Congress's philosopher and third umpire of Rahul Gandhi, as said by the Prime Minister, has done it once again. He has hurled racial remarks against Indians. He has compared South Indians to Africans, North Indians to the whites, East Indians to Chinese, and West to the Arab. And from North, South, East and West, Sam Pitroda continues to face the outrage over his remarks. Let's take a look at this report.
Another day, another self-goal by the Congress. Senior Congress leader Sam Pitroda's racist analogies have sparked a massive controversy, leaving the grand old party in damage control mode. Listen in to Pitroda's racist slur.
We could hold country together as diverse as India, where people on East look like Chinese, people on West look like Arab, people on North look like, maybe white, and people in South look like Africa. Doesn't matter. We are all brothers and sisters. We all respect different language. We all respect different religion, different look, different custom, different food. And as a Gujarati, I love dosa. I love Italy. That's my food. That's no longer South Indian food. Okay, that's the India I believe in, where everybody has a place. Everybody compromises a little bit.
Rahul's close aide and staunch Congress loyalist Pitroda's controversial remarks comes days after he proposed the US model of inheritance tax to be implemented in India. And now, the latest attempt at painting India in racist colors has snowballed into a political war of words. Listen in to Prime Minister Narendra Modi go all guns blazing at Pitroda.
ये शहजादे के फिलोसोफर एंड गाइड अंकल ने बड़ा रहस्य खोला है। उसने कहा है कि जिनका चमड़ी का रंग काला होता है, ये सब अफ्रीका के हैं। ये सोच आज पहली बार मुझे तो पता चला कि ये दिमाग कहां काम कर रहा है इनका, ये देश को कहां ले जाएंगे। अरे चमड़ी का रंग कोई भी हो, हम तो श्री कृष्ण की पूजा करने वाले लोग हैं, जिसकी चमड़ी का रंग यहां हम सब जैसा रंग था।
Even as the Congress has attempted to distance itself from Pitroda's rhetoric, the BJP has been unsparing.
How can they come out with such kind of words? I mean, we are one country where Prime Minister Modi is giving us a leadership with Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. We don't differentiate between one and other. We believe all Indian Bhartiyas are equal.
When it's a party like the Congress, and especially a person like Mr. Sam Pitroda, at a level where he has seen the world, he has been in past governments, He's worked with prime ministers. You would expect that he would be, more understanding of these matters. But sadly, that's not the case.
Sam Pitroda is very unfortunate and highly condemnable. This type of nature from the Congress family is happening repeatedly, and they are alienating this one, the nourish part from the man in India.
देखिए पप्पू जी के जो प्रॉम्प्टर प्रोफेसर हैं उनकी अज्ञानता से भरपूर ज्ञान का ये नतीजा है कि जो कांग्रेस पार्टी कभी अपने आप को मुल्क की पार्टी कहती थी आज मोहल्ले की महंगी हो गई है.
This Sam Pitroda himself is sitting in US giving all this video conference nonsense and run by dimwits. Only this party can get to an extent where they can call us as descendants of invaders.
ये शब्द अंकल सैम के हैं पर ये सोच राहुल की है.
हम भारतीय हैं, हमें फक्र है, हमारी मानसिकता इतनी घटिया नहीं है जैसी तुम्हारी है.
अब जो उनका ताज़ा बयान आया है उसमें ये कहा गया कि साउथ के लोग अफ्रीकन दिखाई देते हैं, नॉर्थ ईस्ट के लोग चाइनीज़ दिखाई देते हैं, नॉर्थ के लोग गोरे होते हैं और इस प्रकार के विभिन्न जातियों पर और भिन्न अलग अलग से उन्होंने ये सवाल उठाया है.
Now moving on, viewers, the battle for Amethi has picked up pace. Smriti Irani's campaign trail is being closely followed by Republic TV. Here's what transpired on ground zero when Republic TV met Smriti Irani on her poll trail.
No constituency has created as much noise as Amethi has. After Smriti Irani defeated Rahul Gandhi in the previous Lok Sabha elections, the Wayanad MP chose to skip the battle for Amethi Lok Sabha seat. In the 11th hour, the Congress party fielded KL Sharma to take on incumbent Amethi MP.
सबसे पहले तो कांग्रेस पार्टी का भारी हूं, जिन्होंने एक छोटे से कार्यकर्ता को इतनी बड़ी जिम्मेवारी के काबिल समझा. मैं आदरणीय खड़गे जी का, आदरणीय सोनिया जी का, आदरणीय राहुल जी का, आदरणीय प्रियंका जी का तहे दिल से आभारी रहूंगा.
Let's remind you, KL Sharma will be contesting the polls for the first time. And not just Smriti Irani, the BJP is confident that Congress conceded defeat even before fighting the polls.
उनके सारे चेले चपाटे कह रहे थे अमेठी आएंगे, अमेठी आएंगे, लेकिन अमेठी से भी इतना डर गए, इतने डर गए, वहां से भागकर अब रायबरेली में खोज रहे हैं रास्ता. ये लोग गुम कर सबको कहते हैं डरो मत. मैं भी आज उन्हें कहता हूं और बड़े जी भर के कहता हूं, अरे डरो मत, भागो मत.
Republic walked the campaign trail with Smriti Irani in Amethi.
अपने आप में एक भयावह सच जो है वो आज एक कांग्रेस के नेता ने सबके सामने प्रस्तुत कर दिया कि राहुल जी की मंशा है कि राम मंदिर के निर्माण के हेतु जो वर्डिक्ट आया उस पूरे वर्डिक्ट को वो पलटा देंगे. ये हम सब जानते हैं कि गांधी परिवार विशेषता सनातन धर्म के विरोध में रहता है. ये हम सब जानते हैं कि जब गांधी परिवार के पास केंद्र में सत्ता थी तो उन्होंने ये स्पष्ट कर दिया था अदालत में दस्तावेज प्रस्तुत करके कि उनके दृष्टिकोण से भगवान राम का कोई अस्तित्व नहीं. ये भी सत्य है कि गांधी परिवार एकमात्र ऐसा परिवार है जो पॉलिटिक्स के लिए तो सनातन धर्म के मंदिरों का दरवाज़ा खटखटाता है. इस बार वायनाड में नॉमिनेशन भरते हुए वो पूजा नहीं करते लेकिन रायबरेली आकर पूजा करते हैं. तो उनकी जो रिलीजियस हिपोक्रेसी है, पॉलिटिकल हिपोक्रेसी, वो सामने आती है. लेकिन ये सुबह से चलना कि वो राम मंदिर का निर्णय बदलना चाहते थे, उसका खंडन राहुल गांधी द्वारा ना किया जाना अपने आप में आश्चर्यचकित करने वाली बात है.
स्मृति जी, आपको एक और बात से अवगत कराऊंगी. आज एक कांग्रेस की नेता है राधिका खेड़ा, उन्होंने बीजेपी ज्वाइन कर ली. उन्होंने क्यों रिजाइन किया? क्योंकि वो अयोध्या में रामलला के दर्शन करने गई, अपने घर में आके उन्होंने झंडा लगाया. बतौर छत्तीसगढ़ के कांग्रेस नेताओं ने उनको कमरे में बंद किया, उनके साथ बदसलूकी की और बदतमीजी की.
सुना है कि रायबरेली में छत्तीसगढ़ के वो नेता आ रहे हैं राहुल गांधी को चुनाव लड़वाने जो राम मंदिर के खिलाफ है. तो उन्हें रायबरेली में अब जवाब देना पड़ेगा कि जो राम मंदिर की खिलाफत करते हैं वही राहुल गांधी को चुनाव लड़ाने क्यों आ रहे हैं.
Also in the fray for the Amethi seat is BSP's Nanhe Singh Chauhan. But do KL Sharma and Nanhe Singh Chauhan pose any challenge to the firebrand BJP candidate? Watch Republic on the 4th of June to find out.
Bharat Mata ki! Bharat Mata ki!
Viewers, just a couple of days back, there was a deadly attack on an IAF convoy in which one IAF warrior was martyred. And time and again, we've seen the Pakistani terrorists trying to disrupt the peace in the valley. And this time around as well, 3 Pakistani terrorists have been unmasked in Jammu and Kashmir. And one of them happens to be an ex-commando of the Pakistani army. Here's the report.
The Poonch anti-terror operations has entered day 5. In a cowardly act, an IAF convoy in Poonch was attacked, claiming the life of one IAF warrior and injuring 4 others. Terrorists ambushed IAF trucks amid dense forest cover. So far, more than 24 locals have been questioned by security forces, as per reports, to establish the whereabouts of and identify the attackers. And now, in a big breakthrough, 3 terrorists involved in the Poonch terror attack have been identified.
4 days after the deadly terror attack on the Indian Air Force convoy in the upper reaches of the Surankot, the security forces have intensified the operation to hunt the terrorists, those who were involved in the attack. Now the operations have been intensified in the areas adjoining the Rajouri and the Poonch district, where the terrorists are suspected to have been active. All 3 terrorists, those who were part of this operation, those who carried out this deadly attack, have been identified. Pakistani terrorist Adun is also involved, along with the top Lashkar commander Abu Hamza, who is seen holding a M4 carbine rifle, and also the 3rd terrorist is a former Pakistani trained commando, the name as Fauji Bhai. He has been identified, and these terrorists have been active in the area for a longer period of time.
What's striking is that ex-Pakistani army commando is among the 3 terrorists who carried out the attack. Codenamed Fauji, he seemed to be moving in the forest area, hiding AK rifle under his shawl. Another Pakistani terrorist codenamed Adun was seen in one of the visuals accessed. Lashkar commander Abu Hamza was also seen with US-made M4 assault rifles used in the attack. Meanwhile, search operations extended in nearby areas of Rajouri and Poonch, including in the Shendra Danna Top and Sanai Top areas. In fact, speaking exclusively to Republic, defense expert Captain Anil Gaur said that Pakistan was pushing trained terrorists to destabilize the region after the abrogation of Article 370.
See, ever since Article 370 has been abrogated and Operation All Out was very successful in the Kashmir Valley, Pakistan ISA has changed its tactics. Now what they're trying to do is they are trying to send in proper trained commandos into the Indian territory so that these people could create mayhem. They have got a very clear mandate: hit and run. Hit and run means they ambush, fire and then run away and melt into the forest. Forest, they have got plenty of hideouts, that is known, because that area is such that it has natural hideouts over there.
The attack has once again reiterated the need for tight security in the region. Remember, Anantnag Rajouri constituency will go to polls in 3 weeks on May 25th.
Well, early since morning, viewers, dozens of passengers were stranded at the airports because 78 Air India Express flights didn't take off. And the reason being, many Air India crew members took an unannounced sick leave. This reflects on many allegations that have surfaced also from the crew members. But here's how things panned out on ground zero.
Take a look at these passengers. Calicut, Thiruvananthapuram. You name the location and there are Air India Express passengers stranded with no flight. Not one or two, but dozens of Air India Express passengers faced the brunt of Air India Express's internal turmoil. Enraged passengers confronted staffers at the airport. But do you know the actual reason behind this commotion? Air India Express crew members have taken a mass sick leave overnight without any prior notice. The passengers who were waiting for their flights either kept waiting, some cancelled, while the others demanded for a rescheduling. On its part, Air India Express said that a full refund or complimentary rescheduling to another date will be provided to the affected passengers. Meanwhile, credible sources have told Republic TV that the crew were allegedly unhappy with the salary structure. They have also complained of lack of equality in treatment of staff, while some staff even claimed that they were offered low posts. But the biggest takeaway is that Air India Express staffers claimed that key parts of compensation were modified.
So, what time were you supposed to go?
Actually, I was supposed to go today 8:30 to Muscat. So when I came here at 5 o'clock, they told me it was cancelled.
When did they tell you it was cancelled?
When I reached here, I came to know it's cancelled.
And where are you coming from?
I'm from Trivandrum, nearby only.
So now what has the airport done? What did they tell you was the reason for cancellation?
They told me due to some cabin crew, their strike or something, they told me.
Cabin crew strike?
Yes. Because of that, they cancelled the flight. So now I told my situation and explained. So now they gave me a flight for the next day.
Close confidant of Kerala Chief Minister K.V. Thomas spoke to Republic TV on the Air India crisis. Listen in.
The management should have known it in advance. They should have informed the...
There are many who claim that the militant labour force, as many have put it, of Kerala, which has been a problem.
I have a different problem. See, always there can be problems, but it should be discussed. And the management knows that this...
Management, when you talk about management, it's about the Air India?
Air India is the management, not the aviation minister, took charge of the Indian administration. But Air India management, who got the leave letter, health medical letter, they should have known this, that these services will be stopped.
Meanwhile, the central government has also stepped in. The Union Civil Aviation Ministry has sought a report from the airline to resolve issues promptly. Not just a report, the ministry has also cracked the whip, advising the airline to ensure facilities for passengers as per DGCA norms.
Viewers, the son is on the run, but the father cannot because the long hands of the law has caught up to H.D. Revanna, and today H.D. Revanna's judicial custody was extended till May 14th. And in a sensational twist to the ongoing Karnataka Sleece Tapes case, a JDS MLA GT Devegowda has now injected a Chennai and a Malaysia link to the alleged pendrive leak. Here's the story.
Politics, probe and protests. The Karnataka Sleece Tapes scandal continues to get bigger by the day. It was day 2 of protests in Karnataka. JDS workers continued their agitation against DK Shivakumar. While the anger against DK Shivakumar continues to peak, there's no relief for Revanna in Sleecegate scandal. While the son remains at large, father H.D. Revanna continues to face legal heat. Today, H.D. Revanna was sent to judicial custody till May 14th after the SIT's custody of him ended in the alleged kidnapping case.
The Blue Corner notice has now been sent across to all the 196 countries seeking information as well as whereabouts of the absconding MP Prajwal Revanna as well. So all said and done now, there is also an ugly political fight which is breaking out with the BJP and the JDS levelling allegations against the Congress party and the government, stating that DK Shivakumar was the one who was responsible for leaking the videos.
The 66-year-old former minister and son of H.D. Devegowda was arrested Saturday by the SIT. There are 2 cases registered against him, one for kidnapping and the other over alleged sexual assault. And today he was once again presented before the court, but after a medical checkup.
H.D. Revanna is leaving right away from the Victoria Hospital, and he is being taken away to the other side as well. We are seeing that the special investigation team has changed the routes too, and we are seeing massive police deployment out there too.
On the other hand, protests continue to mount. Mysuru, Mandya, Ramnagara. JDS cadres have once again erupted against DK Shivkumar with the conspiracy charge. They claim that the videos were made viral by the Congress strongman ahead of the polls. In fact, JDS MLA GT Devegowda has now injected a new angle into the case. He said that the pen drive was bought for 3 crore rupees in Chennai, and he also alleged a Malaysia link. The Congress government meanwhile has scoffed at these allegations while claiming that the truth will be out soon.